Welcome to Maker Conversations. I'm your host, Tiff Marchand, and today we have a special episode all about the Maker Collab. So I sat down with Nick and Christy, who run it, and got a little information for you all about this awesome event. This is going to give you a chance to win 2 tickets to WorkbenchCON. So you and your partner could get a free ticket to WorkbenchCON, and all you have to do is make each other's logo. And it doesn't even have to be a sign, it can be a representation of their logo, and you get to be as creative as possible. There are no materials or medium that is required of you, so this is really a no holds bar event. So if you are interested in this is what that episode is going to be all about. If you are pondering going to WorkbenchCON and you are not able to compete right now, you can use Night Carver to save $50 on your ticket. And a huge thank you to the sponsor of this show, Sabertooth Power Carving. We just got back from Maker Camp recently, and it was an absolute blast. And I just can't wait to continue to teach people, whether it be at different maker spaces or private events. It's been a real blast getting to know everybody and showing you how to use my absolute favorite power carving tools. If you're looking to save a little money there, you can use Night Carver 10 in all caps to save a little bit of money. And if you want to help support this show, you can use my affiliate links that are in my bio, and there's also a link to the story. And you can go ahead and grab yourself something cool and get a little bit of a kickback. Definitely check out Carhartt's got a bunch of new fall colors, and it's getting really cold lately. So if you need a new jacket, that'll help you and myself. So I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope you participate. Christy, for those who don't know you well and they haven't heard you on the other podcast, can you just give like a quick overview of just kind of how you started this, what you started with, and kind of what you're doing now? I know it's a quick breakdown.
Am I Oak Hill or am I the Maker
You're
Club?
You're both you. That's everything.
What's up, guys? For joining us on Tiff's podcast. I'm Christy. I started my business in 2019 as Oak Hill Millworks with a laser and doing some woodworking. And over the years, that has grown into starting a company with Nick and making the Maker Collab, which is a competition and education-based community. That's me, I guess. Yeah. There's much more, but we only have so much time because the Steelers game is on, and I need to get back to it.
I'll tell you the score. You're losing.
Oh, surprise.
He's going to keep tabs on it.
Yeah, that's going to be the score. That's the score all night. I don't have to look.
Well, that's awesome. So let's go. Yeah. Why don't, since we do want people to know about the Maker Collab and we want to go over what's happening with that and stuff too, but I do want to harass Nick as well. I feel like that's highly important that we touch on that. So Nick, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself so people can get to know you, and then we're going to talk all about the Maker Collab. But like, you started in 2019 on Instagram, but on your like first couple of posts, you're talking about you've been doing it for like 5 or so years before that. Like, how did that all happen, and what made you actually want to post to social media?
Well, I was always a tinkerer, and I've always wanted to just like build stuff. Like in middle school, high school, you're just like, I got an itch. I want to do something. I'm just going to go downstairs and hammer a couple pieces of wood together. And that's what really started it. And I was in the medical field for 11 years, and I designed my house and I was helping build it. And that's when I got the itch. Like most people, they get a house, they start building furniture. Mm-hmm. I was like out here helping build the house. And then that's when I was like, oh crap, this is fun. I could do this. And so I was doing it like in my basement in the 1-car little garage that I built for the shop and blah, blah, blah. And then finally I started building the shop, and I was like, maybe I should just like start posting about it. And so that's where it all sort of ballooned, and it just went one thing after the other. And then I met up with Christy, and we formed this little partnership of just trying to, it was always woodworking and making. It's usually just you in a garage or you in a shop. And we wanted to sort of flip the script and change that a little bit. So when we collabed, I was like, man, this is fun. We should just keep teaching people how to do this. And so we just kept going on and on and on, collabing with other people. And it just sort of ballooned into this Maker Collab.
What was your guys' first collab?
Christmas ornaments.
I gotta repost it. It's
Yeah.
Oh, it's
like
so bad.
gold. It's gold. We were like eating a sandwich so that
Whose idea was that? Whose idea was that? Yeah, it was.
I love how Brad Pitt does it. So that's why I wanted
How he
to
just
do.
eats when he's talking always in a
Yeah.
scene. Yes.
So Nick milled up some walnut on his end and like filmed it. And then he put his phone into the box, but like was filming him packing it up and sending it to me. And then on my end, I had my phone in the box and opened it up and was like, I mean, it's so bad. It's so corny, but it made us happy.
And that was
It
like
made
during COVID times, right? When we were all home and yeah.
Yeah, and new business owners were both just
Mhm.
like, okay, it's just us all the
Yeah, but
time.
it was like before Reels, so it's like a 2-minute video, and it's like
Longer than that. I think it's like 4.
yeah, we're
Wow.
gonna have to cut it up a little bit because it even goes past like I milled it up, I put it in the box. She opened, she did her part, put it back in the box. I opened it, eating a sandwich too, and was like, "Oh, this is cool. Let me wrap it up for Christmas." And then like Christmas Day, my sister opened it, and so it was just like, oh my
This is
god, it went
so
on and on and on and on. And
That's
so yeah,
amazing.
but as soon as we got done with that and like Christmas was over, I was like, wow, that was fun to do. We should do it again. And so we just started thinking about things. And then randomly we just called each other one day and was like, hey, could we continue this? I was like, that was fun. Is there a way to share it with other people and get other people to do it too? And that's literally where the competition sparked.
That's
It
awesome.
was all his idea though. I mean, he's the originator behind the idea for the competition.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's nice to give your friends credit for what they've come up with. That's beautiful. Look at the pride. Look at
I
that.
know.
Yeah, jag
Well,
off.
whatever.
But that's
I have
funny.
good
Like
I have good thoughts. You execute very well though.
she is an executor and she's an idea person too. Come on.
She's executed me a couple of times. I can guarantee you that.
Christy means business. She's a businesswoman, you know, she gets this shit done. But I love that though, because you guys met in this community by most likely just seeing something cool the other person made or something silly they posted.
The whole reason we met was because I think I was putting like some like challenges out there on stories at the time. And whatever it was, I cannot for the life of me, I should go back to the archives, but he posted a video of him spraying himself in the face with a hose.
You're like, I like this
So
guy.
it was like one of those story things that they were like, they did these little back then, like you either had like car karaoke or dance karaoke, or like you had these little like tasks that you had to do. And somebody posted a reel and it was like, how do you stay cool in the summertime? It was like in the middle of the hottest part of the summer. And I was like, this is how I stay cool. And then I just like shot myself in the face with a garden hose. It was great.
Probably
how we
felt
met.
amazing too. That's
Yeah, it
awesome.
did.
But like I tell
Yeah, it
people, I
did.
preach it that it's these maker collabs, all these competitions are a great way to meet people, because if you're brand new into this environment, a lot of us now have not, I don't want to say formed cliques, but you get your tight groups of friends. And we're all got very established friendships. And to get in there, it seems intimidating. I know people have said it before, but it's just because we've known each other for so long. It's not that we're not ready to let more people in. We're all ready and open for that. But to
Heck yeah.
get your foot in that door, it's intimidating when you're new to it. So these things are the best to get yourself in there, get to know people. When I hosted one for Sabretooth a few months ago, I still see those people talking to each other now. And it's so great. Like people who competed, like, it's just so nice to see that. It's like, oh, look at little
All you need
friends.
that
It's
like
growing.
that shared experience, and that does it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Especially if you
Yeah.
went through hell, and nothing bonds people more than like having to like hurry and get it done last minute. Like it's a big time bonding experience.
Heck yeah. So we
I
got
just
good.
I just found that reel. 2 minutes and 35 seconds.
Okay.
2 minutes or 35 seconds. December 27th, 2019. It's like way back.
Oh,
Way back when. But that's not the first video I did about you, Christy. Do you remember the Halloween cup? The tumbler that I did where I was watching a video like way back when and I spilt
That's
water
the first
everywhere?
one.
That was the first video. That was the second time I squirted water in my face, and you approved.
We know the kind
That
of
was
jokes
a
she likes.
I engraved a tumbler for him,
I will
and
post that reel. I'm gonna post it as a reel right now.
I did that for Halloween.
I know. I'll do it right now.
Do it.
It's good. He's like watching a film, and then
It's so bad because it was so like now that we have reels and like we sort of learned how to edit now.
Yeah.
Like there's so much I would cut out of that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
much.
no, but
Because you want it to pop. You want it to have a nice little beat to it, and it's done because that's all we can handle nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah.
gosh,
A 50.
all these reels I've been posting lately for the Murphy bed, they're like almost all the way up to the 90-second mark because I had
Yeah.
so much
So much info to put in there.
I'm like, I hope people will watch them. I don't know. Sometimes it's good to just experiment and see what happens.
Yeah.
I know that from posting these Murphy bed things with Create a Bed, I have increased my female following. Because I
Yeah.
was like 95% dudes, and now I'm 85% dudes.
Interesting. Wow. So high.
Bringing some more DIY people over.
Yeah, exactly. I talk about that all the time, like how sometimes you're gonna have a limited like following base just from what you're doing. Like people appreciate cool art, but like I do have upticks if I do something that relates to more people. You know what I mean? If it doesn't relate to your life, or if you're not sending it to your friend, like, oh, check this out. Did you see this? You know what I mean? Like it does hit differently.
You're right. It's totally true.
Mhm.
I know it works for my crowd, but I don't always give it to them because it's funny. Like I'll post a laser reel,
Mhm.
do not perform well, and I know that, but I get sales every
I
single
say you need, yeah, that's what matters. It's what
so.
you're earning compared to like the views. And it's a hard battle because you want to do well there too. It's, you know, it's our job, right? So if you're having poor performance on there, you feel bad about it. It's not your fault. And you know what I mean? But like, it's like, I'm not doing good at my
Complex.
job right now.
Yeah, it's complex. Did you
It
post?
is.
Hmm?
Did you post it?
No, it's so long ago. It's like trying to like spin and render. It's like downloading. It's like buffering right now. But I will. It'll be up there.
Okay, guys, break it down for us. What is the competition that's happening right now? And how can people join?
Ooh, it's a fun one. So we partnered up with WorkbenchCon. We've all been to WorkbenchCon. I hope everybody that's listening. If you haven't, you've got to go. It's so much fun. It's one of the best weekends of the year.
It
But we
is.
partnered with WorkbenchCon because what's better than a collab competition that you could win a free ticket to WorkbenchCon, which is a big deal. That's a big
Oh,
deal.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit pricey.
Mhm.
So we're doing it right now. It's for the entire month of November. All you're doing is swapping logos with anybody. We can help set it up. If you still need a team member, we can still do that. Or you can pick your own team member, swap logos. It's going to be a community vote for it. You can use any type of media that you want. Does not have to be woodworking, it can be anything. And then community is going to vote on it. Top 3 teams are going to get pulled into a little drawing here. And then the team from WorkbenchCon and the team from the Maker Collab are going to vote for the winning team that's going to go to Workbench.
I think it's awesome. And you guys were saying, I know Christy was telling me today, it doesn't have to be a sign. It can just be like inspired by your logo, even. You don't have to like completely replicate somebody's logo to the T. So I think that's cool. It's like a nice open-ended art project. I feel like I'm in school again. You know what I mean? Like be free, enjoy, create.
Yeah, that way people already have a logo sign and they just want to like see what their partner comes up with. And a lot of people, I think we have 8 of the, I think we ended up, we still have people coming in, but maybe 22 or 23 teams. And I think 8 of them might be ones that we paired up, which
Oh,
is
cool.
always
Okay.
fun to see
Yes.
how people interact. But we have one team that's already sharing stage 2, and they're already sharing like their drawings and their designs.
Yeah.
And it's cool because the team that's already sharing 277 Creative and Steve Grampy's Wood Shop, what I think they're doing is like making each other's logos, but they're putting a little bit of their own like home state flair into it.
Okay.
So like
So a little
277
twist.
Creative is from Texas. So I think he's making Steve's logo with a little Texas flair to it, even though Steve's in Florida.
That's so
That's
funny.
gonna be cool.
Yeah, it is.
What are you going to do for my logo?
I really don't. I don't want to say. I don't want to say. I'm gonna throw a weird little twist in it. You might like it. You might like it. We'll see.
That's two things you haven't told me now. You haven't told me what's going to happen at WorkbenchCon.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You need to remind me of that. I can't talk about it right now because Tiff's right there. But
Ooh.
but otherwise, we'll have that conversation tonight or tomorrow. It's got to
All right.
happen.
Let's
I
talk
know
about
What did they
your
say?
guys' experiences at WorkbenchCon. I'd love to hear like your first time going and why you went, so that way people can kind of get a more glimpse of how it is there.
Was your first time, Nick, going? My first time?
No, I went the year before you. And remember, I kept FaceTiming you because I was like, dude, guess who's over there? You know, and like I was fangirling there for a little bit, but you weren't there. You weren't there because I met Vic and Dom, and I gave them a hard time because you weren't there. We tried to FaceTime you.
Oh,
So was
So
it
the-
2020 then, right?
It was, it may have been 2019. No, I think Christy went in 2020.
it was 2021 for me because
Yeah. Oh, then maybe it was.
2022.
actually, no, yeah, it was 2022. This
Because I
past
think
year
your
was on my
first one was my first one, Christy, if I remember.
I can't, is it an emergency? Are you bleeding, dying, or house on fire?
You can take care of your kid.
You need
Is it Abby?
yes.
Let me see. Say hey. She's
That's
cute.
it. Go do your thing. So you went in 2020 then, because that was the last one before it had to get shut down for a year. Because I
Yeah.
remember
So I've been to
Nick and
three
them
of
did
them.
like their Rust-Oleum trip down that year, I think.
Yeah. 23, 22. We skipped 21 and we had 20 right before COVID hit.
Yep.
So yeah, it was 2020 was the very first one. And it was a blast. I went just because I wanted to meet everybody, see everything. I mean, I was just learning. I was so nervous because I only had like 3,000 subs,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I was like, I'm going to be the smallest fish in this entire pond. And it didn't matter. Everybody was just so welcoming. It was so much fun. We had a blast. And God, now I just look forward to it every single year.
It's just a real experience. And I feel like because a lot of people don't put their face on like their logos and stuff, you're all really on equal footing. Like, unless you're really known for a maker, you know what I mean? Like, everybody doesn't know what anyone looks like. They all know your Instagram handles. So
Yeah.
it's not like everyone has any kind of prejudice. It's just like everybody is at an equal footing and you just want to meet them, and you get to ask, what do you do? And get a cool answer back too, which is really fun.
Yeah, it's a blast. And you know, what's funny is like, yeah, you're right. Nobody really knew who we were the first year. But then the second year, people that you were like fanboying over the first year,
Yeah.
second year they came back, they're like, dude, what's up, Nick? And I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you know, like I got waves coming off the elevator, and I'm like, wow, this is cool. So like the community is just so knit together, you know?
Mhm.
It does not matter how many subs you have. It does not matter if you're well known or you're just like it's your first day in the maker community.
Mhm.
You're gonna have friends at the end of that weekend. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And did
Absolutely
you go
crazy.
alone your first time, or
I
did you go
did.
with a group? Okay.
No, I did. There were 3 or 4. Yeah, isn't that weird? I'm not like a huge social butterfly kind of person, but I went out there by myself. I knew 3 or 4 people that were going out there, and I roommated with Lefty, with Kevin.
Okay.
Did you say roommated?
I roomed. He was my roommate.
You said roommated.
He
like-
roommated.
It's late, and I don't have whiskey like you, so my bad.
Did you tell her about my first year yet and how we both got tickets?
You both got what?
Andrew, AG Does It, was giving away tickets.
Oh yes, this is good.
Oh, yes.
I don't even remember what we had to do, but we both won, and it wasn't fixed or anything.
That's
but me and Nick
amazing.
won. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, she texted me and she was like, "Hey, sign up for it." Like, I think it was one of those where you like just had to comment somebody's name. It was like a giveaway. And she was like, "Dude, you need to enter this." And I was like, "There's no way we're gonna win that. Like, what's the odds? That's
Mhm.
dumb." So she like put her name like 100 times, like tag so many people. I think I tagged like 5 people because I was like, there's no way. I'm not going to waste time. And then she got a message. She's like, I won. And so did you. And I was like, no way. And even Andrew was like, it was not rigged. Like when I pulled, because he did a story of like pulling it out live.
Yeah.
And at this, like when he announced hers and then he announced mine, he was like, wait, what? What are the odds? So yeah, we didn't have to pay second year. So we have won tickets.
That's
And it was
awesome.
unbelievable. So one of the best feelings ever.
It is amazing, like to not have to worry about that part of the expense and to be able to just have to worry about your travel and your hotel. Like such a huge advantage. And I mean, that's the nice part is like you guys are offering that to people now. So you got to benefit from it in the past and now you're going full circle and you're able to give it away to somebody, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's the WorkbenchCon for sure for that because we are asking people, I can't remember where I wrote it, but I'll include it in a future email again. But I did ask people to like tell your story and tell us why you want to be at WorkbenchCon. Tell us why you deserve to be at WorkbenchCon. Because I thought that would be cool to hear some stories when it comes time for judging.
Yeah. No, I love it. Christy, why did you want to go?
I started making YouTube videos and found that I enjoyed it, even though I was bad at it. That's how I knew that like I really enjoyed it, because when you're bad at something and you still want to do it, like, oh, I like this and there's room for improvement. So I definitely wanted to go because of the content creator aspect. I wanted to learn more, especially last year, which was this year. It's just crazy. From John.
Yes.
Was it this year?
Yeah, he did a class this year and he did one last year too.
Okay, so I'm thinking last year, like I really wanted to go to his class last year, and I was so nervous to do this. I felt like such a tool, but I like raised my hand right before he was about to start, and I was like, "Can I record you?" And I put my phone up on his podium, and I just did like a voice recording of him because I was like, "I'm not going to be able to take all these notes. I want to revisit this." And he was very nice. And he's like, yeah, no problem. And that started a friendship. Like that was so cool that now I've talked to him and Suman a bunch since 2022. And then this past year, I really enjoyed Chris Zepp's class. Like really liked his just sharing of his journey of going from, getting paid peanuts or getting just paid in product to do certain things, and now having like a monster contract with Lincoln Electric and how hard he works. It was really inspiring. He's a cool guy.
If you're teamed up with somebody new and you're joining your competition and you don't know the person, what's your, like, do you have tips and tricks for people who have never done that before?
I mean, so when we pair them up, we do look at their Instagram profiles and we try to match people up who we think would be compatible or complementary. Sometimes that's totally opposite styles. Sometimes that's similar styles, depending on like the age range and what we think. I even look
that they would vibe well.
Yeah, I even look geographically because I'm like, well, people want to trade things. Maybe they could drive to each other. But anyways, then we send out an email, like a virtual introduction, and we're like, hey, you're paired up. Why don't you guys swap Instagram handles first? And then I don't really know what happens after that, honestly.
No, you never
but
get feedback? I was curious on that.
No, like the vast majority, I don't think we've had any memorable like pair ups that didn't work out.
Have you had any that sparked really good friendships?
Dude, yes.
Yeah.
There's been some unbelievable. We had somebody ask about that last night in one of our networking nights. Like, how do you take that first step? And I think of it like going to asking a girl out for the first time. Like, just go shoot your shot. Just like send a message and be like, hey, I want to do this. Do you want to do it? Let's like get together and do something. But yeah, we've had some really good ones. Christy knew of somebody. She told me this story. But we've had like somebody just walking in their neighborhood and saw a garage door open, and they were like, they're in there doing woodworking. I should just go talk to them. And they literally went over there and talked. And next thing you know, Christy said the two guys joined the competition. They enjoyed it. They are now starting a business together. the wives met and they hang out. And it's just like all it was seeing somebody doing something the same as what you enjoy doing. And they just took the guts to walk up and be like, hey, you're doing cool stuff. I do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
we've
like,
definitely had some ones that we manually paired up go on to be good friends, but even just like people who have shot their shot. Think back to OG Maker Collab competition 2020. Who won it? Ricky and Andrew.
I would say, was that Ricky and Andrew's year? Yeah.
Did not
Those
know
two.
each other, and they were
Yeah.
opposite coasts of the country, and for their courage led them to ask each other, and that formed like quite the friendship. So it's just kind of neat. Like if you just take a chance and don't think that you're on the outside. Everyone, no matter how big your account is or how you might appear online, like everybody needs community. So take a chance, invest in yourself, join the collab. Like, yes, WorkbenchCon feels like a little bit of a scary thing to put money into, but I promise you, you will not regret it if you spend your time intentionally while you are there and build your network.
And just step out of that comfort zone. That's all you got to do is step out. Like I'm no social butterfly. And like if I walk into some big event or something, I'm going to be the quiet one standing back, like watching everybody. But if you just go in and you just start saying, hey, you'll be surprised how far you'll go on that weekend.
Yeah, I think it's funny. Kristen says these few things, but I think they're just so important. Eye contact and a big smile can get you so far at just the simplest thing. Like it's so basic, but it really can, because if you connect with somebody with your eyes, give them a smile, you're probably going to start talking. Like it's just going to happen.
Okay. Question for you both, because I
Yeah.
know mine. Who is your person that you have yet to speak to because you're a little nervous that you would like to say hi to and like connect with at WorkbenchCon?
I highly doubt you have one, Christy, because you talk to everybody.
Nope,
You got
I have one. I have one.
What?
You know
One
who
person.
Yeah, one, Nick. I have one. I can tell mine while you're thinking, Nick.
Yeah, I don't have one yet. I don't. Oh my gosh.
So mine, I've talked to a little, but I'm just so in love with what he does, and I just love it. Is Bobby Duke. Like I've talked to him here and there just a little bit, and I'm always wanting to see him. But then when I go over there, I think I have nothing of value to provide to him because I'm just so intimidated by his skills. He's just such a good carver. Have you ever seen his videos? He's hilarious, first of all. Like over the top, hilarious YouTube videos. You got to watch them, Christy. Okay. And then his skill level, it's just mind blowing. Like he's such an artist. So for him, like I'm just always like, hi. Like I talked to him so quick at a Total Boat event recently, but it was like just a snippet. Like, so I do got to sit down with him one day because I just love him. Nick, did you come up with one?
I mean, I finally got the guts to walk up to my very first year when I was that little tiny fish in the pond. Mine was Matt Cremona. And like I waited like 10 minutes for this guy to stop talking to somebody else. Like I was that awkward dude, like, I'm not leaving here until I say hey to Matt.
Good.
And I finally did. And I got a picture with him and I'm like this much taller than him. And I was like scrouched down. But it was the coolest thing because he was just a cool dude and he would talk to you just like, you know, normal people. They're no different than us.
What intimidated you by him? Just the size of his account, like what he did, like what was it?
Well, it's like when I didn't have my shop, I was living vicariously through them, like Matt and like April Wilkerson, Jimmy DeResta, like all those guys. And then it was just a skill level, just like you and Bobby Duke. It was just like what he could bring to the table, what he does from like literally a tree to finished furniture. I was like, I just want like a 10th of your knowledge. You know what I mean? And so it was just that. And once you met him, you're just like, this dude's awesome. And I still freaked out the day he subscribed to my YouTube channel. I took a screenshot. Yeah. I don't even think he knows that he probably did. It was probably an accident.
I did that when Jimmy did back in the day before.
I think we all did. There's many people who will follow you back. I remember like when Faith from Wood and Sense, I love her painting. I love her skills. She followed me back. I was like, oh my God, Faith follows me now. You know, like so nerded out. But it's just exciting because somebody that you respect respects you enough to follow you, because a follow is a commitment. You know what I mean? you know you're going to see them over somebody else because it's a fresh. You know?
Yeah.
So Christy, who's your person?
My person is Anne of all trades.
Really? You haven't talked to her yet?
We've talked
Really?
multiple times, just chit chat online, but I'm convinced that she has no idea who I am. So when I see her, I'm just like dive and go the other way, because I'm like, she doesn't know me and I don't want to explain it. She's a busy lady and everyone wants to see her. And
You know,
I like
she-
want to go help on. I like want to go to her farm and work with her for like a week just for therapy. I think that'd be
He
amazing.
loves visitors.
yeah.
I would love that.
You know, that first year WorkbenchCon, she told people, she's like, if you want help, you can ask me for a consultation time and I'll sit down with you one-on-one. I don't remember how much it costs to do that. And so I did that with her and
Oh,
like
wow.
talked about Instagram and all that stuff. She probably still doesn't remember who I am, but to me, it's like she actually did help project me a little bit faster forward. So, and I still think of all those things. She told me books to read and I've got them in there. I mean, she's good people.
She's
She's
amazing.
sweet.
I interviewed her for Sabretooth's show. I had a podcast with them for a while and she like made me cry. She got deep with me. It was like an intense hour and a half. I got reports back from like Sabretooth. She's like, that was kind of like a therapy session. I was like, sure was.
You're
Sure
like,
was.
Yeah.
I felt it after. You know?
my childhood trauma with animals.
Yeah, seriously. But like it's amazing though, because some of those people, like there's a reason that we're nervous about them. It might be something like you said, like we just admire their skill level or what they do in the community that just makes you so excited. But then once you break that barrier, like Anne's dope. Like I had a lot of fun with her, but I was intimidated to meet her too. And then like Jen Bauer with all that beautiful engraving she does. And then I'm at Maker Camp this year now, like a year after meeting Anne for the first time. And we're goofing around and I'm recording silly voiceovers on her phone and doing infomercials, like bullshitting behind a tent, just randomly. Like just
That's awesome.
The funniest, craziest things happen at these events. Like you get grouped up and paired up with people that you wouldn't even believe. You have breakfast next to people that you know could run like Fez Tool or something. You know what I mean? Like there could be people at every corner that are a part of something that you have no idea, because a lot of us do other things. Like Nick, you work for other companies and stuff that people may not know about, you know, like there's a lot of us like that in this community that do many things. All right. Well, thank you guys seriously for both coming on. I just really wanted to have this highlighted. It'll get posted soon. I'll just get this one out quick just so we can get it going, since this is a hot month and this is when the competition is happening. Absolutely.
But wait. Even if you don't win the competition, if you come to WorkbenchCon and you bring your logo swap, you're going to be voted on at the workbench and you could win a prize pack at the end of the whole weekend.
Believe me, you're going to want a prize pack.
I want a prize pack. I'm just mad that we can't enter to win.
All right, guys. Well, enjoy your night. I'll talk
Thanks.
to you soon. And I think
Thanks,
we're going
Tiff.
to have Nick back to actually interview him, because that was not a good description of who he is or what he does or anything.
No. I'd be happy to do that.
That'd be fun.
awesome.
All right, I hope you enjoyed learning about the Maker Collab. I cut this one pretty short because, well, Nick and Christy do like to insult each other back and forth, which I particularly love. But I wanted you to just kind of get the facts, just in case you're curious about this competition, about who they are and how you can get involved, and a little bit about what WorkbenchCon is. If you have more questions, you're always welcome to, DM me on the WorkbenchCon Instagram or reach out personally. If you are going to be attending and you're going to be working on this competition, make sure you tag us so that way I can share it to the stories, and make sure to tag the Maker Collab, because we would like to keep these going, build that excitement. This competition is running from November 1st all the way to the end of November, so it is not too late to start right now. Get yourself a partner. If you don't have a partner, all you gotta do is reach out to them, sign up, and just say, hey, I need to be matched up. And as you heard, their partner system seems to work really well. They haven't had any issues, and it's really created some really good lifelong friends. So join us, and I can't wait to see what you make. Have a great day, and as always, thank you for listening.